Hello, friends. Shall we talk a little more about longing and wanting and feeling the deep longing inside here, feeling that desire to experience something. And I was talking to a dear friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about this, and I shared with her how this has just been so alive in me, and it just keeps getting more alive and more clear what this whole longing business really is. And I did do a little video about that not too long ago, if you want to watch that. Well, I've done a lot of videos on longing, but there was specifically one I was kind of pulling it apart a little bit so we can see what it actually is. And so when we had that conversation, she says, well, but I thought that when we say or admit that we want something, then we're basically declaring that I don't have it, like an affirmation maybe, or it's like you make a statement to the universe, I want this, because meaning I don't have it. So however that works in that belief system, it's like I'm admitting that I don't have it, and that's why my experience is the way it is. And that could certainly be one way of seeing it if you don't understand the next layer around it, which is something that keeps coming through here. So when I say I want it, it's absolutely because I don't have it. I'm not experiencing it and it hurts. I want it. It's important to me. But what we're not fully realizing is that when we say I want it or I long for something, it's because we ourselves are denying it to ourselves. We are blocking it for ourselves. I shared the other day when I was doing some deeper work, I could feel that when there is a want or longing or something coming up, there's an automatic no. It's covered in a no. It's like, yeah, I want that. It's like, whoop, no, you can't. That one, that no, you can't have it for whatever reason. And I think there's many reasons based on, I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy of it. I can't have it. I have to work hard for it. There's something wrong with me. Yada, yada, yada. Those are the layers that are blocking our full expression of who we are. Because there's nothing is missing in our essence, in our true real beingness. That is the fullness of who and what we are. And in that we feel the possibilities, all the magic, all the fulfillment that is in here. And we feel that because that is who we are. So there's nothing wrong with wanting something, except if we deny it to ourselves. That is when we close off that, what is it called? Is it called in Danish? It's called an abundance horn. I know it's called something else. I can't think of the name right now, but I think, cornucopia. Yeah, the cornucopia. That's where everything is there, and it just comes flowing out endlessly. There is no end to it. And I did do a video on that about the cornucopia. The link is here too, a while ago. That is what is always here. We feel it, we long for it. So why are we not experiencing it? Because we are saying no to it. Because we believe we cannot have it. Because we think we don't deserve it, or that we need to do something in order to get it. Well, I'm just going to tell you, the only thing we need to do is to stop denying ourselves to have it, to be it, to experience it. That is the reason that we want it. So if you feel that you want something and you're not having it, don't try and tell yourself, oh, I shouldn't want it because then I'm telling the universe, I'm not having it. And then the experience of not having it comes to me. No, the reason that you want it is because you are denying yourself that experience. That is how clearly I'm seeing it right now. And of course, this is my own process as well, as I'm sinking in and I'm just seeing these layers that we've been programmed to believe that no, you can't have it. And what a lot of baloney is that? It's so not true. So to go back to a video just very recently, the link is here, that was about really allowing yourself to feel the yes. When I say, really say and feel yes to what you want, it is so simple because it's just the antidote to saying no. So we need to do something to undo that no that is pushing everything down, that stops us from experiencing it. So when we say yes, it's not enough to say yes with your mind, as I shared the other day. It's like we have to feel that, like, yes, I want that. There has to be some kind of a loving, yes, honey, you can have that. That feeling of yes, with that love in it, with that joy, gratitude, or just openness to, yes, I want it and I deserve it. I mean, whatever we need to say to ourselves for a while to start undoing the no that has been preventing us from having it or from experiencing it. That's really all it is. It's not like you have to run around all your life and say, yeah, I want this, I want this. This is a phase we need to go through to undo the one that has run our lives. No, you can't have it. No, you can't have it. You don't deserve it. You're not worthy of it. That's why we do this. That's the only reason. Once these two cancel each other out, that's why we need to kind of keep putting something to dissolve this. No, soften it. And I think a really good softener, when we are able to, we may also need to do some work in order to get to the place where we can really feel it. It's not something I felt 20 years ago. This is like a new layer that is being revealed to me about fully receiving what is already here, what I already am. And it might just be another version of myself that wants to be experienced now. And I just stay open. I have wearing this t-shirt today, this shirt today with heart. So that's kind of a good metaphor. So like keep that heart open by just saying yes, 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 but do it with love, do it with joy, do it with a sense of generosity to yourself. It's so beautiful. I mean, how can you think that's not okay? Because it's pure love for yourself. And self-love is definitely one of the magic potions that we all need to use. So as we are constantly you make it a real practice. I'm practicing it myself. Like this morning on my run, I was just running with this sense of, because for me, it's just like a deepening into the divine and really resting deeper in the peace of the divine. So I carry that with me wherever I go and when I remember it, when I'm not distracted by other things. So in my run this morning out in the redwoods, it's gorgeous. It's like, oh yeah, Oh, yeah. And then I get to that yes. And that's when I say that yes, there is often a lot of information, inspiration, clarity, download that is becoming available. And that's when I could clearly see that this yes is only needed because we live in a no to ourselves. And that's the same with self love, which has also been one of my main themes for many, many years now about how important self love is. Self love is only important and needed as long as we do the not self love, right? As long as we deny ourselves love, we need to practice loving ourselves. And we start with self love, we start loving the part that is not loving ourselves, right? Because that needs some love. So it's just bringing that energy that we are, that loving energy, that light energy, we bring that to everything that seems to be separate from it, that seems to be not included, that we do not consciously necessarily. For the most part, it's very unconscious. So that's why having a practice like, yes, I want that, right? That is to dismantle the unconscious part of us that says, no, you can't have that. No, you can't have that. If we see that, we can start working with it too. But if we don't bring the antidote to it from like, yes. And I do this every time. It's like, yes, because that's what it feels like. It feels everything in me opens up and says yes to the divine. Yes, thank you to everything you are, to everything I am. Show me, I'm open, I'm willing, I'm receptive. That is how we open up to that cornucopia. And then we allow it to come through. And then with the self love, if we start loving ourselves consciously, we only do that as long as we are unconsciously not loving ourselves. Once these two cancel each other out, you don't need to run around loving yourself because it's just, there's no need for it. You just are it. And this is very much my own experience because I had to go through all these layers of, learning to love myself, listen to myself, speak my truth, all that stuff. Very important. Everybody has to go through that phase. Hopefully, it's shorter today than when I started. But then at a certain point, I'm not going around loving myself. I am love. I can't even imagine why I would not love myself. And if that should ever come as a suggestion or a temptation, I would probably go like, raise my eyebrows, like, what are you talking about? So it just cancels each other out. And it will be the same here. So at a certain point, and this is what when I'm the download that I get about these things with the longing, at a certain point, we don't need to say yes because we are just naturally open to the flow. That is when we are back in our original natural state. And that's where all our needs are met. There is no need to do any work to get it. It's just there and we can just allow it. And as soon as there's maybe an inkling of longing for something, it's like, poof, it's going to be right there. This is not my full experience yet. So I'm not going to make a point out of that, but that is something I'm sensing when I'm in there. That is just how it happens when I'm not putting my no on top of that. I hope that's helpful. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Does it resonate? Is it a little weird to suddenly just be totally open to your wants when, all the spiritual teachings, they've always said you have to let go of that. Well, maybe it's not quite true. Maybe there is another angle to it that is coming to the forefront now. And I'm just here sharing it with you from my own experience. I'm never claiming that I know all the answers. I'm just claiming that this is my experience. That's all. And if it resonates for you, maybe it will be your experience too. Give it a try. All right, my friends, until we meet again.